It's quite easy to forget how much of a retreat your bedroom can be. It's not so hard to think it is. It's where you lay your head, and most times it's your comfort space within your home, especially if you don't live alone. So, it's quite normal for you to want to change the atmosphere of the room or to have a new perspective on things. And one of the best ways to do that is by repainting your room. The first thing to do is to figure out the basics and ask yourself the right questions. This might all seem quite overwhelming, but it's all necessary. Painting a bedroom, like any other thing, takes a plan, and a good plan means a good job. The cost of paint. The main requirement for any painting is obviously the paint. And figuring out the type of paint you want to use on your bedroom walls depends on two factors: how much you're going to spend and the duration of time it would take for the painting to be done. Other factors that come into play are the type of paint available, their differences, and the cost of each type of paint. Note that all prices mentioned in this video are the current market prices, and so they are subject to change. Types of paint. There are majorly two types of paint available for your paint job. These are the oil-based paint and the latex paint. Oil-based paint is a cheaper alternative. It is sold for between $30 to $50. This paint is good for areas that will be exposed to moisture regularly, because such areas tend to suffer much damage on a regular basis. They sometimes give off an offensive odor and are not eco-friendly due to the amount of highly volatile substances in their makeup. Latex paints are the most commonly used paints for home painting, as they tend to dry quickly. They have a smooth finish and are generally much more comfortable to use. It lacks the characteristic durability nature of the oil-based paints. The average cost for this paint generally falls between $30 to $70. Types of paint finish. Most paint jobs require a finish, and both paints offer the full variety of finishes you might want. Paint finishes are basically the attributes of a paint that gives it a sheen or reflective surface. There are 5 major types of paint finish. They include the eggshell, matte, enamel matte, satin, semi-gloss, and high gloss. The type of finish you use is dependent on what you want and your budget. This is because their prices differ. All paint finishes have an aesthetical purpose. Do you want a reflective surface that bounces light off it, or you're looking for one that absorbs light and diffuses it? These choices determine what paint finish you eventually use in your bedroom. 1. Matte finish. This finish exists to absorb light instead of reflecting. Basically, it gives a deep hooded vibe to a room. It also allows for more coverage, so it's great for mature bedroom designs. Matte finish is not a good choice for children's bedroom because it's hard to take out stains without pulling off paint. A gallon goes for between $20 to $50, which is the average cost if you're getting the same brand. 2. Eggshell finish. This paint finish delivers a little no sheen to flat look on its surfaces. It is a great choice of paint if you're in a room that's controlled and is not prone to much physical interaction with the walls. A gallon goes for between $1 to $6 if you're getting the same brand as the paint. 3. High gloss finish. Right off the bat, we would advise you not to even consider this for your bedroom. The reflective and sparkly finish tends to be a bit jarring for your sleeping quarters. This paint, despite being the most resilient and the ease at which it can be cleaned, is more suitable for doors and cabinets. A gallon goes for between $1 to $6. 4. Semi-gloss finish. This finish is not as durable as high-gloss paint. Because of that, they are well suited for rooms where moisture is common, and it can be easily wiped away. This makes it best for bathrooms and kitchens. A gallon goes for between $1 to $6 if you're getting the same brand. 5. Satin finish. It is mostly used in places that stain easily because it is easy to clean. If you want to paint a room that is going to require constant interactions with the surface walls, this is good paint. This is because of its easy-to-clean nature. A gallon goes for between $1 to $6 if you're getting the same brand. Another necessary material required for a paint job is a paint primer. Sometimes when you want to paint a room you would need a primer as prep work to serve as a layer beneath the actual paint. This enables the paint's adhesion to the surface and also helps to seal in stains. Not all walls require a primer. This is because it only serves to hide stains as well as imperfections. It is also useful on new surface walls, as it helps protect the surface material and keep the paint stuck to the wall. If you have a wall that's already painted or it's in great shape with no imperfections, chances are you won't need to use a primer. You can also get 2-in-1 paint and primer combo. These are advertised as a mix of a primer and paint. So, they just require one coating to get the surface both sealed and covered. But you will be purchasing a heavier paint that can only simulate but not deliver the same finishing as when you use a primer and paint separately. Although the combo type could be a cheaper and probably much faster option, the alternative offers better quality for your work. The types of primers are the oil-based, latex-based, and shellac primers. It's important to know that when using primers, it's best to match the primer to their corresponding paints. For example, the latex primer and latex paints. Shellac-based primers. They work best for walls that are vulnerable to water or smoke damage. They go for an average cost of $40 to $63 per gallon. Latex primers. These primers when used are less brittle than their oil-based counterparts. They are preferably used for mostly woodwork like prepping unfinished softwood or drywall. The cost per gallon varies between $30 to $80. Oil-based primers. They are better for woodwork like bare or unfinished. They go for $20 to $30 per gallon. They allow better adhesion of the paint by completely sealing up the wood. Make sure you buy paints that do not surpass your budget. One thing to remember when purchasing products is quality. Paints with better quality tend to have a much richer and thicker consistency. Hence, the paint does not require many coats as lesser quality paints and adherence is much more efficient. Color of the paint. The color can play a major factor in dictating how much the paint would sell for. Most times, vibrant colors tend to cost more than your normal run-of-the-mill colors. This is mostly dependent on what the company creating the paint dictates. DIY or professional. Sometimes when painting, you have to decide if you're fine handling the painting job yourself or hiring professional help instead. This decision is completely dependent on if you're willing to learn or if you would rather not overwork yourself. Hiring a professional. If you've decided to hire someone else to handle the painting of the room, you must consider the cost. How much does it cost per hour? Does the cost of material come with the bill? Is the total labor cost going to be worth it? Most painters charge an hourly rate at an average cost of between $20 to $100. Sometimes, painters charge separately for the required materials, like primer, paints, and other necessary tools. Or they factor it into the total cost of their bill. If your home happens to be an old one, an extra cost might be pulled by your painter in order to deal with any prep work to renew the walls. Patching holes around $10 per square foot for resurfacing and repairing holes and cracks in the wall. Drywall repair about $115 to $380 per room. Sanding cost about $1.80 per square foot. Repairing plaster, $60 to $90 per hour or a fixed rate of $200 to $300 for minor to medium jobs. Mold remediation, $500 to $6,000 based on the size of the area and level of mold infestation. Be sure to see assessments of your painter's previous work to make sure the quality of work is worth the labor cost. This way you are assured that the expected results can be delivered. Also, take into consideration the number of materials used so that you won't purchase more than is necessary for the room. Cutting costs. Painting a room is something everyone does in order to get the right ambiance from it. The only problem is that painting can be a pricey job. If you're on a budget and you want to paint a room, manage cost as much as possible. Also, be quality conscious. You must understand that a paint job can get a bit pricey, so proper precautions should be taken to make sure you don't spend more than your budget. But do not be too tight-fisted. Here are a few ways you could get a better painting deal. 1. Get proper measurements. Having a full idea of the specifications of your room can help in ensuring that you stay well within your budget. Do the preparation work yourself and let the painter know the dimension of the room in square foot. This reduces the amount of time he would spend painting. This reduced time means lower hours to pay for, which reduces the total labor cost. That's a few bucks saved. It also lets you know how much paint is required to get the painting job done in your bedroom. This helps to prevent waste of materials, which in turn reduces the cost of painting as well. This is good news because sometimes professional painters add the cost of the painting materials to their bill. Knowing what you need can help you cut down on expenses, as you can make a request for the right tools that are needed to carry out the job. Also, figure out the cost of the tools that will be used. That way when your painter provides his bill you don't get overcharged. If you confirm the requirements of your painter, you can go ahead and purchase the materials yourself. 2. Use quality paint materials. Always make sure to use quality materials. This would seem exorbitant at first, but it will pay off will come in the long run. A smarter option would be to invest in quality, more durable, and efficient paint which lasts longer. Make sure your painter knows this if you're not handling it yourself. That way he would not be inclined to make the wrong decisions in your bed space. This should also apply to other necessary materials, especially primers. 3. Seasonal planning. During the summer and spring, professional painters are in more demand than they are in the cold seasons. This is because most people desire to have a change of scenery to match the fresh warm season. As a result of the massive demand at this time, professional painters tend to charge at higher rates. A smart idea would be to wait till winter before painting your bedroom. Demand is quite low at this time of the year, so you'd be able to get a much lower rate on working hours. 4. Prep your walls. People forget that the walls of a room matter almost as much as the paint being used. Your walls need to be ready for a paint job, and if there are noticeable damage on your walls, your painter's bill will increase. Painting damaged walls require a whole lot more work than just painting a simple surface. This is especially true in the case of moisture or mold damage. The weakness of the wall could affect the finished work once the painting has been done. Wallpapered walls can also pose as a problem. The labor cost of removing the wallpaper from the wall before the actual painting will increase the cost. If possible, take off the wallpaper yourself. That way the cost of paint is reduced. 5. Do it yourself. If you want to cut costs, one of the best ways to save money is to do the painting job yourself. This way you won't have to pay exorbitant prices to get a painter. You simply need to buy the right tools and paint the room yourself. However, there is a difference between a job done by a professional and that of an amateur. Without the right experience and knowledge, chances are you might need to repaint your bedroom in a few years. 6. Hire a professional. A professional painter is trained on painting surfaces, so he is more adept at handling the job and delivering a quality job. Also, professional work tends to last longer. Even if the total cost of hiring a professional painter is a little bit on the high side, the results will be worth it in the long run. 7. Use a color swatch. Figure out your colors before you start painting. Color swatches give a sense or an image of what the color scheme would look like when it's done. You can buy small swatches of paint to apply to the walls. This will help to test and also get the paint's visual representation in the room. If you've enjoyed this video, kindly subscribe to our channel. Then hit the notification bell so that you'll know when we post a new video. Also, drop your comments so we'll know your thoughts. Don't forget to check the description below for more details. Visit our website, bedroomy.com for more bedroom content like this. Thank you for watching. See you next time.